Welcome, riders, ridettes, and pillions. Today is a good day because I am back in Colorado. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Elliot, and you've discovered the Van Blam YouTube channel. Last summer, I loaded up my work laptop and my 2019 Triumph Speed Twin and went to Colorado for 2 months to enjoy the mountain air, mountain views, and of course, the mountain roads. This spring, I've decided to do it again, leaving my home in DC and traveling to New Orleans, Louisiana, Flagstaff, Arizona, currently Denver, Colorado, and eventually Missoula, Montana. I have 4 weeks here in Denver, and from the looks of it, I may have gotten here a little bit early. Today is April something, and it is still a little bit wintry here. On my way into Denver, coming from the west, I passed a lot of snow-covered mountains, frozen lakes, and I even went up Loveland Pass, which I had been up before on just the bike, and found that it was absolutely frozen over. The roads were not even completely plowed, and there was still like sand and grit and stuff all over them. Combine that with the snowstorm that we got the day after I arrived, and the riding conditions here in Denver are definitely not quite ideal yet. I must be a little too used to the climate in DC, where winter is about 8 days long. A few people said I should have gone to Utah instead of Denver. The weather is better, it's beautiful there, and I've never been before. And to be honest, those people were kind of right. But no matter. Someday in the not too distant future, I will give Utah the time it deserves, and hopefully I'll have a dual sport motorcycle with me when I do it. In the meantime, I am determined to make the most of my stay here in Denver, and I'm going to do that by visiting places I haven't gone before. A big part of my motivation to come back here on this trip, in spite of the weather, is that I only got about halfway through my to-do list the last time I was here. There's still so much that I want to do and see. Mount Evans, Independence Pass, Berthoud Pass, if I'm saying that correctly. Now, some of those might not be clear for the next couple weeks, but today we're going to start small. We're going to a place right near Denver that I really wanted to go on my last trip, but just never found the time. It's a squiggly little scenic road called Lookout Mountain. I'll see you there. For those of you wondering how that flyby was possible, there's Coda with the camera. Here we go. Nice little entranceway to the Lookout Mountain Road. Y'all are crazy. Why would you want to bicycle up this? Wow, this road gains altitude pretty quick. I try not to go too fast past bicyclists. Just seems rude, and we're all part of the two-wheel family. Yeah, there's still salt and grit and snow melt all over this road. I think it's going to be a couple weeks before I can take this at any kind of a sporty pace, or at least what counts as a sporty pace on this channel. Like I've always said about Colorado, though, even when you go slow, the views are enough to make it fun. Sadly, they don't allow drones up there, but I think I did alright with the long lens on my Sony mirrorless camera. That's an A6300 for those who are curious. I've had it for about 4 years now. I think they're up to like the 6600 now or something. If there's any interest, I would be happy to make sort of a like what's in my camera bag type video. I've got my setup pretty dialed in. It's been a good while since I changed out any of my equipment. There are of course links to everything I use in the description below. But if you'd like to see a video breakdown of my whole setup, let me know in the comments. I just stopped here to catch a little bit of a view on my way down from Lookout Mountain. Right in front of us is Golden, Colorado, and way out in the distance is downtown Denver. Up that ways to the north would be Boulder, and then beyond that, Longmont, where I stayed the last time I was here. And to the south, just a little bit out of sight, would be Morrison and Red Rocks Amphitheater. I just remembered that I owe you guys a little bit of an update. You may have seen a couple weeks back, actually right before I left for this trip out west, my bike was having sort of a problem with the high beam light on the dashboard. The little blue high beam indicator light on my instrument cluster was stuck on, and the high beam itself was incredibly weak when I toggled between it and the normal headlight. I was worried that this was some kind of short. I was really dreading having to chase down electrical gremlins with this motorcycle, but a lot of people in the comments came through for me, and they said that it was most likely a bulb. The Speed Twin uses a dual filament headlight bulb, one for the normal headlight and one for the high beam, and apparently when one of those filaments goes bad, that causes the issue that I was experiencing. Now, of course, this was right before I left for my trip, so I didn't have much time to wait for parts to arrive. I ordered one from Amazon and had it shipped to where I was staying in New Orleans, kind of intercepted it on my way across the country. Now, there are easier ways to get an H4 bulb, but all the ones I could find were LEDs, which is like a different, I don't know, voltage or something. It doesn't quite work the way it's supposed to. So anyways, I got the bulb I needed, but I waited to install it until I was here in Denver, just in case I screwed something up, which we all know is a very real possibility. But it turned out I had nothing to worry about. While I was waiting for the first day's snow to melt, I pulled out my headlight unit, which is just a matter of removing 2 screws and unplugging 2 plugs, pried off the little retaining clip, and pulled the old bulb out. And it turns out it was very dead. After that, I put the new halogen bulb in, replaced that retaining clip, which I didn't quite film because it was kind of a pain in the butt, reinstalled the headlight unit, and boom! I guess it's kind of hard to tell in this light, but no more high beam indicator. And the best part is, the high beam actually works now. Even in broad daylight, you can tell the difference between low beam and high beam, whereas before it was almost imperceptible. And there, you can see the blue light coming on and off as I toggle the high beam. So thank you very much to everyone who commented on that video and told me that the issue was probably a bad bulb. That looks like rain headed this way, so I'm getting out of here. I forgot that in Colorado, weather forecasts are meaningless. Thankfully though, the weather around here is like hyper localized, so I won't have to ride very far to outrun those dark clouds. I'm starting to accept the fact this motorcycle will just never be clean. But that's alright. If I had time to keep this bike spotless, that would mean I'm not riding it enough. So that's it for today's video, guys. Got a lot more to look forward to here in Denver over the next couple weeks as the weather gets better and the roads get clearer. If you enjoyed today's video and you'd like to see more like it or more content featuring this Triumph Speed Twin, then make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Until next time, you ride safe, and I'll see you back here for the next video. Thanks for riding with me today.